Good evening and welcome to the Swemp Electronics Football Alliance Division 1. We are here on what is being broadcast as Match 17, but of course last time out we had part of what could have been Matchday 17. We've moved to Matchday 18, Hulls versus Imaginary Madrid, a 2-all draw that may have taken a few people by surprise, myself included. Our fixtures for today involves some absolute classics, and here to present the classics with me is Quinton Fortuna. Good evening, Quinton.
Good evening, Mr. Megahorse.
How are you?
All right, thanks. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm ready for an excellent session of games, footballing games.
Yeah,
Look at
there's some good ones on tonight, isn't there?
yeah, you look at them, and there's some that are miles apart in the table, and then some that are really close. Obviously, we've got yourself, Fortuna versus you and Rovers, 10th versus ninth.
Yeah, it should be a good one. They're a dangerous team, so hopefully I can get a win. But you never know, dear. Just like a good performance from the boys. But 3 points to take is above them in the table, so fingers crossed.
It would indeed. Mr. Savage is here. Evening nightcaps. Is that are you having some drinks or is that a chaps? Whichever way, I like it. And of course, Mr. Savage has been making some wonderful artwork for the
Yeah,
Stacking
lovely job.
Cagliari replacement team, which of course will be coming on there very very soon. Um, Daniel Megahorse, a new side, we're also going to be in another competition that's coming up soon. Nothing Championship Manager related, but we'll be in a competition launching shortly. Mr. Dimble's here as well.
Good
Um,
evening, both.
Evening to Dimble, and of course, the both part, yes, night chaps and caps at the same time. Perfect wordplay. The table then, after the Hulls draw, Hulls could have gone top, and the Lucio substitute was hugely influential on actually Imaginary Vision coming back and stopping that happening.
Yeah, late comeback, wasn't it? It was a surprise, that one, but I mean it makes Trafford and Phoenix even more favourites, doesn't it? I suppose it's they've got a big night ahead of them tonight if they can get the 3 points and capitalise on that Hull's error. We'll see how they get on when they catch up on that extra game. But yeah, down the bottom it was a valuable point for Imaginary Madrid, 6 points behind the Iron Curtain now, but with slightly better form. So I don't know. It could be interesting how that pans out over the next few weeks.
Yeah, especially with Imaginary Vision now being on double figure points. That must be a milestone reached. And Flamingos tonight, looking to see if they get their first point. There's a bit of a surprise in store for when Flamingos play. So a reminder of those games. Flamingos themselves playing Hools. It's unlikely they're going to get anything out of that one, isn't it?
Well, yeah, looking at the tables, yeah, but depending how big the surprise is, you never know, do you? So it's no game's an absolute guarantee, is it? I mean, Flamingos have no points, so they're statistically closer to getting the first point, aren't they? So who knows?
Yeah, can we get any relegations today? We've got what 10 games to go, so obviously no relegations as such, of course. But any other teams ruled out of certain things? Well, what have we got? The bottom three going down. So Imagine Madrid can only get a maximum of 27 points. Trafford, well, if they avoid defeat, Trafford are safe, aren't they?
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
It's, I mean, it's
not
touch and
quite
go as to whether
conceded
they'll
double
go
figures
down.
yet. So yeah, I think they might just about be safe now. I think we can safely say that.
Indeed, indeed. And let's get going. And hopefully everything's set up. If it's not, then yeah, my fault. The opening game. Oh, Flamingos, and look at the manager that's been set up for Flamingos today, Mr. Stephen Fife, taking charge of his team for the very first time. He has come in as the new manager tonight on a full-time basis. What do you make of that?
Well, he's given a lot to Swans over the last few weeks, hasn't he? So I mean, he's yeah, I think it's a great move for Flamingos. They can't have the five up front, can they? Well, you think not looking at the way it's set up there. yeah, I've got every faith in him, and it's tough first match at Hulls, isn't it, or at home to Hulls? But he might spring a surprise there.
Well, yeah, I mean, we say a big appointment there, Dimble. Absolutely huge. And the fact that the team's been set up is obviously something that is a bit more positive than maybe the last, what, 14, 15 games?
Well, yeah, I'm not going to complain because I've played them twice, so so at least I've got my games out of the way against these guys. But yeah, it's a different setup, isn't it? Rather than 5 up front, we've got 10 men at the back. Well, sorry, 9 apart from little Cherno there up front. It's definitely a better setup for the players they've got. I just think Fifey might have benefited from a few extra defenders in the squad. So he's done his best there with the young lad Stocker going into defence.
Yes, Justin Stocker, the player who's been called up from the youth squad, um, he's not any worse, is he?
It's interesting that his best stat's dribbling, isn't it? Because you wouldn't normally give that to a defensive midfielder, but if he gets on the ball, he could cause some problems, couldn't he, going forward?
We'll have to see if he's anything like, say, like a Neeland or what's he called from Trafford, the great defender that they've got, Landro. That's it. If
Landro,
he's anything
that's it.
like that,
The passer, Paul Landro.
yeah, something like that would be perfect for the team. But yeah, from 5 up front to 1. In fact, from what was it? Basically 5.5 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, I like the setup we've gone for. Shane Tolley's not had much of a run out this season. Labinot Habbots is in his natural centre midfield home, so he's played quite well in the last few weeks. Cherno up front, he's not really been in his best position. And Montari and Kranjčar are fairly decent performers out wide there. So yeah, big Sam Aller 5. Well played, Dimble. Lovely.
Yeah, he's called in to use his Batman symbol to rescue the side. But yeah,
Should
this
be
is
Catman, really, shouldn't
perfect. Catman indeed. It's one of the things about it, I suppose, is this season is a free hit, and this first match couldn't be any more of a free hit, could it, against such a big team? But next season, completely free, and there he is as well, suggesting it's the worst squad he's ever seen. Yeah, it probably would do pretty badly in the conference. Scott's here as well. Good evening, Scott. Welcome to the show tonight. The Flamingos team is genuinely horrible, isn't it? Gondor are better. Yes, but don't forget Fifey. Next season, you can do what you want, and I like the idea that you've got going forward. So let's see. 1 point possible? Who knows? I'm going to say no. They're playing against Hulls, and we know what Hulls are like. This is what they like
I'm
today.
gonna back them for a goal though today. I think the way they've set up is it's decent, and there is a
It's a
lot,
huge
like saying,
improvement.
for Samba to do. But I think they'll support him a bit more, and I'm going to back Flamingos to score.
So Hull's forced into 2 changes today with suspensions. So missing left back Dere, and in midfield as well, they're missing Figo. So 2 players out, but Emerson back in and Junior stepping in as well. Prediction there from Scott of 8-0.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the difference in quality between the two, you say Dede's out for Junior, but Junior's he got a couple of goals from penalties and earlier this season. He's had I think he had a man of the match performance in one, so he's not really a massive loss. Um, and then bringing Emerson into the team as well. It's I mean that only strengthens it. Emerson over Figo for me. Emerson's a far superior player in centre mid than Luis Figo.
And how
So
would,
yeah,
how would you compare Alex and Figo?
um, I prefer Alex on the game. I think Alex is a little bit better. Figo's got all the stats and in theory the ability on it, but he's never really performed. I mean, I've not managed him too much to be honest myself, but he's never performed too high. I mean, 729 after 13 starts is pretty poor considering the strength of the Hull's team and how they've been performing to only have 7.29. But I like the setup Hull's having the squad, and yeah, in theory their quality should easily beat Flamingos. So I'm going to say 4-1 to Hull's. Raul and Elber up front will just have a little bit too much for the Flamingos defence.
And then you look into it and you see in the chat there, Flamingos to win by 4. and the one person saying that is Jens. Good evening, Jens. Welcome to the show. Of course, you have got a fantastic squad here, and Fifey up against you. It's a big change of scenario there, isn't it? So
Maybe even back Ruggiero to score in this one. Is he on
yeah,
pens?
I mean, Ruggiero, he will be on set pieces, won't he? Still, if we have a look into the tactics, which of course, no, I'm not going to look into the tactics. I'm not going to look into it, but yes, he is. He is on set pieces. And if we just take a look at the last time they played, it was 4-0 to Hools, and that's the game that Junior scored two. Was it two penalties?
Two
Yeah.
penalties, yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, 4-0's not a great result for Hulls at the time, but they did what they had to do, and it was just a decent second half performance as Flamingo's tired. But Flamingos will be stronger ability-wise at this point in the season, won't they? But I say, I think Hulls will definitely have too much for him, but I'm going to back Flamingos to get a goal with the setup from Fifey.
and it's time to get damp in the shower. Let's get kicking off with Eva Eriksson refereeing, of course. Yeah, I think the predictions generally suggest a Hulls win. 5 feet, absolutely nothing to lose in charge of the team. It
He's
is
predicted
not.
Hulls by 5.
Yeah, I mean, but is that match fixing? Let's get going anyway. So, the first few minutes begin with not much going on. Hull's going forward, a chance potentially blocked out. And Alex with a shot, Cafu involved. And Raul as well. Good goalkeeping from Yarstein so far. Fantastic from him. Getting into the 20-minute mark. And yellow card for Hierro. So, of course, Hull's taking a bit of a, well, not a battering, of course, in any means, but they're holding out Flamingos, aren't they? Ronaldinho missing the target.
Aquilani's
Substitutes,
the star man so far, isn't he, with an 8?
yeah, and Yarstein up to the 9 as well. So fantastic stuff from Flamingos holding out. Is this the reverse of the Comet Relief fixtures? I think it is. Albert has scored the opening goal, but I think no, it's not the reverse of these fixtures. It
No,
was
it's not.
Trafford Flamingos in that one.
I think I played the Wolves.
Yeah, and 1-0 just before half time. You're absolutely right. Going into this, will it be 2? It won't be 2, will it? Maybe. Oh, Raul Nelbert puts it wide, and it's half time 1-0. That is a great first half for holding out. Tolly looking pretty underused, and Junior up there amongst the better performers for Halls again.
Yeah, it's. I mean, they've had a decent half Flamingos. I mean, that's pretty much a victory in itself by only a 1 goal deficit at half time. But we did see, I think it was 1 goal in the first match, wasn't it? And then they got 3 in the second half. So the thing with the youngsters is to do have a habit of tiring a bit more than the opposition, don't they? Particularly if they're chasing the ball all round. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's Bulls have played pretty well if you look at the ratings. But just Flamingos have that a good setup. Aquilani's played really well, and Yasin Goal's doing well too.
Well, let's get straight to the managers for their for looking at their conditions and things for substitutes, ratings, whatever. Cafu into Alex and an Elbear header. So yeah, looking into it, Alex playing very very well for Halls. There are no injuries there. Jens, of course, you can decide any subs. If you want to put Tolly to attack in midfield, of course you can have 5 feet. It's like Scott had predicted it for you. So you wanted to go in that sort of line, I imagine. Looking at your team fitness wise, while we're on it,
Do we
you
want the runs back?
Stocker. I mean, we could put the runs back in, of course. Yeah, Stocker is just a bit tired generally. Montari has no stamina, does he? And
Aquilani's knackered, isn't he?
yeah, Aquilani's certainly carrying something, a potential knee injury there. Scott back to Bostock. That would be the perfect sub there, wouldn't it? Get him. No, he's not. There's no David Collins. I've got to say. So these two running. Just any runs, Fifey? Any runs? While we look at Jens's team, just in case. Yeah. Well, he just sent Scott back. I don't think he wants to make any changes. Yeah. Tato making a lovely comment about the formation. That's thin, is it? All right, that's good. Yeah.
It's just an arrow pointing down, isn't it? That's all it is. It's
Aquilani staying on. Can I see my team, please? Of course you can, Jens. We'll have a look at that. That's where you're on with your stats. Quinton, give us a bit of feedback.
yeah. Well, Alex is playing really well, isn't he? So that's why I prefer him to Figo on the game. He just always seems to be playing well. 3 key passes is decent, isn't it? It's I don't know if you got the
Oops.
assist for the goal there. You moved off that fairly quickly.
Yeah, I had to make the substitute while we're on it there, Ronaldo for Raul. I can get it back
But
onto there for
but
you.
yeah, looking at the player ratings, they've actually performed pretty well, Hulls, haven't they? Really, there's no one below a 7. Got a 9 and a couple of 8s as well. So to only be 1-0 up is a very good performance by Flamingos by their standards for the first half. But yeah, it's going to be interesting how the second half pans out, and if there can be more goals, or if Flamingos can indeed get back into it.
Well, there's always chance, isn't there? Double sub at half time there. Hierro and Raul both withdrawn in favour of Argel and Ronaldo. So yeah, one not
Not bad
usually
subs
to
to bring on, are
tinker,
those two?
but it's great
It's,
having him on board for the show. Flamingo wise, that's what we're looking at there in terms of the Flamingo side.
Yeah, say Aquilani and Yasted have had an excellent performance, haven't they? Aquilani's done twice as many passes nearly as everyone else other than Christensen. I mean, to be fair, there's only Tolly who's not played so well, and the manager's made his tactical change to put him into a better position for him. So I'd expect that to go up perhaps a little bit, but they should be fairly pleased with the first half performance, particularly Stocker, who's got the 7. And it's not a bad first half at all by their standards.
No, no, Tolly in a different position may well make a difference, but yeah, Aquilani playing very, very well. Let's get it to 60 minutes then. And will it be anything different? You'd imagine surely Hulls have got chances of getting a second with Ronaldo coming onto the pitch. Lucio's taking a yellow card. And we're approaching that 60-minute mark. Will there be a second goal just now? Ronaldo missing the target, or at least not scoring the goal, at least anyway. Flamingos, looking into your team at the moment, Aquilani on to 76, Montari at 80, and Cranchar 83.
Tolly and Crofts are on 5s, aren't they? So they're not
Yeah,
playing well. Tolly's shift hasn't done an awful lot better. So we got rid of the runs, didn't we? At half time, do we want the runs back on, or are we happy to?
that is an option, isn't it? Definitely. And then for Hulls, we've got Lucio and Alex both carrying cards. Matches in 4 days' time for most teams.
Cafu's looking a bit knackered.
Yeah, Cafu, a foot, a naughty foot, and Talon Martin going on for Cherno Samba for Flamingos. It's going to be one of those changes. So that's something that's happening. I'll give a little bit of time for the team to say whether any more subs are required.
Yeah, Samba's had a thankless task, has he, up front in this game? Not an awful lot of service, but Talon Martin should be interesting if he can get a chance.
Bulls with no more changes, and whether there's no need to apologise. Yeah, it's fine. You don't have to make any changes. But if there's anything else for Fifey, he's making a change. That's why he's apologising. Ron Jeremy coming off Elbert.
Is he staying up front?
Is this going to be Ronaldinho up front, or is Jeremy going to go for it? I'd love to see Jeremy up front. I would like to see him have a go with knife for finishing, but we shall see. It would be quite good. In fact, I'd prefer to see Andre for Elbert. Scott would love to see him in goal, and Rogerio up front.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy's decent at set pieces, isn't he? So there's no reason why he shouldn't be an excellent forward. But yeah, I'd probably make the switch for Ronaldinho too. But
Jeremy striker, yeah,
there
perfect.
you go.
And it looks
That's a
like
bold move. Love
looks
it.
like Flamingos are going subless. Well, not subless, but they've made their one. Let's get cracking. He will score. Well,
There you go. Good prediction.
looking into this season, he has scored already, and he's been an excellent player. So let's hope he. Well, I say hope he scores. I've got to be neutral, but you know what I mean.
Let's hope he
25.
performs well.
Yeah, we hope everyone performs well, don't we? Jeremy's taking a card. He's on the sheet then certainly. Ronaldo has put another one off target. It is just 1-0. Can Flamingos get back into this? They're on the attack. Oh, it came close there, didn't they? Ronaldinho 2-0. Down the other end straight away. While Flamingos were vulnerable, sending a lot of players up the pitch. And 3-0. Emerson has scored. It's as we expected, but Talon Martin, as you predicted there, scoring a predictor, scoring a consolation goal. 3-1. not the worst result in the world. And yeah, Hull's getting the victory that they needed, and Flamingo's getting a bit of well, something out of the game.
Yeah, I think that's a good result for both teams, really. Hulls were the dominant force going forward, and as Flamingos got tired later on, they got two of the goals. But see, performance-wise, Lucio 8, Ronaldinho 8, Alex 9, Helber 8, Emerson 9. There's some good performances from their team, but Flamingos played pretty well throughout, and Tolly went back up to a 6 in his attacking midfield zone. Talon Martin's come on and made a difference and got a goal. So there's only really Lee Croft who's letting down with performance, really, but
And he's not
they've
a natural
played a
centre
lot
back, is
better than
he?
before. No, that's it. It's a lot better performance than we've seen before from Flamingos, and an excellent managerial debut for this team for Fifey, and I think yes, it's a good result for both teams, really.
Dock the Norwegian at some point. Um, well, he's only done what's called playing the game, so yeah, I mean, but you got to give both managers some credit here. Hulls get the victory, and Fifey shows that Flamingos within that team is actually they're potentially getting something out of it.
Well,
Um,
what I like about both these teams, they've both got a concept, haven't they? So we
yeah,
Hulls have got the one names. Flamingos went for the I'm playing youth, but then just haven't managed them through the season, which is difficult. And we can see there with the manager in place who set up his team well, they can put some good performances against the big boys. So that maybe they can pick up some points before the end of the season.
they certainly can. And it looks like Ronaldinho's taking on Campos and
And he's
Croft
jumped
and
and got a header in.
Christensen. He just Ronaldinho loves his jumping. Minus 62 goal difference, but yeah, concept the concept of pick and run, I suppose, was what it was. But yeah, and Alex manages to get around Croft, playing it into Emerson, lovely finish, and Talon Martin looks like a decent solo goal, to be honest. Campos has played it in, but he's taken on Alex and kept going and scored. So fantastic. Yeah, looking into that, Aquilani, plenty of passes for Flamingos. That's probably more than any of their players have done this season.
Yeah, some decent heading as well. 7 out of 10, 4 out of 5 tackles. So excellent performance from Aquilani. And say he's not really had some good performances. That's probably the best he's played all season in his natural home there. But you see, we can just see by the stamina of the players really that a lot of them are tired out. They come the end of the game, and that's where the game was won.
Indeed. Yarstein doing very, very well in goal in terms of his tackling attributes there. I suppose they're sort of one-on-ones, aren't they? He's probably won a lot of those. And into Hulls, nobody passed the ball as much as Aquilani, but there's a lot of accuracy going on within that.
Yeah, there is. It's a good performance. Emerson with the 9 and Alex with the 9. They were the two we spoke about before the match was coming in the team there, and they performed really well. Lucia's had a dominant performance at the back end. He's 6 out of 7 tackles, 4 out of 5 headers. So no surprise he's got a decent rating. But yeah, again there's a couple of tired bodies out there. 3 of them below 80%, or 4 of them below 80%, even 5, isn't it? So I'll soon do my maths, but yeah, I mean that could prove a difference in the coming days when they've got the next game.
Yeah, what's an last degree worth? Looking into the next match that we've got. Yeah, I know you're talking about people that are tired. It seems like Tato's tired. Mr. Dimble also tired, and he's been on longer. If it's not Badgers or East Coast next, it will be the East Coast game next on Badgers versus Phoenix. There we go. We go to Badgers straight away, and Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix as they played last game, they had a 0-0 draw versus East Coast, which it doesn't look like it sets the world alight or anything, but it's a big result for both teams, I suppose. And then Phoenix today going up against Badgers with this setup.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Did Lillian Turan play that position last time out?
He didn't play it last game, but he might have played the last league game.
Oh well, she got a 9 in the last game, I think, with the performance there. So it's
Yeah, I think that was at centre back for the last match. Just taking a look into things there, Taram centre back last time, yeah, 9. And the last time in defensive mid was probably Flamingo's game or something. It was certainly a game fairly recently Taram's played at defensive mid.
yeah, it's an interesting one. I don't think I'd put him in there. he's obviously done a job at centre back in his last game, but it's still, I mean, it's a strong team, isn't it? That a lot at the back and just letting the four at the front try and run riot and do the best. But yeah, there's not a lot you can pick out of this team, is there, in terms of the performances and the players they've got. They've played really well this season, so they'll be looking to get a result against Badgers. So it'll be interesting to see how the Badgers have set up against them because the formation's apparently class.
Yeah, and do you remember last time Phoenix played Badgers?
I can't remember last time. No.
Last time round, the Badgers won, and it
Well,
was
there you
all
go.
done
Yeah,
by
it's
half time. And that, if we look into the table, is the only defeat for Phoenix.
oh yeah, it's not like that's been mentioned a few times recently, has it? That's interesting.
Yeah, if only we'd have been able to see what's going on there. But yeah, fantastic stuff from Tato to get that victory.
Can they do the double? That's a big question, isn't it?
Yeah, or at least avoid defeat in both games would be huge. Looking into it, it's going to be a good one. But Badgers, formation wise, last time round, a 2-2 draw, which went to extra time and has taken the team to a replay, hasn't it? A replay after extra time in the Norwegian Cup just a few days ago. They go into this game with this formation.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? It's I mean, there's plenty of cover for the back when they don't have the ball, and Finn and Duff have had a little bit taken off the forward runs, I think, haven't they? Because they've
Yes,
been
yeah, it
running
was a
right
full
through the
pitch run
strikers
last time.
before,
Yeah.
so. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how this turns out. I haven't seen a lot of Wellens in centre mid. I've seen him in defensive mid when he plays before, but Walker's obviously excellent in that role. Scally and Warner's a good screen for the back as well. So yeah, it's a good formation. Yavin, McPhee, and Sullivan up front. It should be interesting because they had a good performance last time with the three up front. So they could cause problems again, and if they can get on the front foot early on and put the game to bed by half time. But I'm looking at those conditions, and I know we do say conditions are myth, but starting players on 87 and 90, 91 is if Phoenix are at full fitness, it could be different, couldn't it?
I think there's one Phoenix fan on the stream so far, and it's Fifey. Who Jens is fuming they didn't score more and wants to trade teams. Imagine Jens giving up Hulls for Flamingos. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah, Warner just as competent in defensive mid in terms of his positional rating, but obviously he looks more set up for a centre back, doesn't he? But certainly can play both roles pretty well. Yeah, Collins injured 10 days with a poorly ankle, so that's why he's not playing today. It's a big shame knowing how successful he's been for Scott there in the Super League this season with Vostok.
That number 6 is all sorts of wrong for David Collins.
Number 6. It must have been auto. And I'm not quite sure how it happened. It's certainly not something that we've given him. Yeah, so this promises to be quite the football match. 5 in 16. Phoenix in
Oh,
yellow. I mean,
they're
have
in
we
the
seen
Fortuna kit,
that?
aren't they? We've lent them a kit for this one, but I'm going to go big on this one. I'm going to say 2-2.
Yeah, let's have some predictions in the chat as well. Shettle Sarlen referee in this one. Um, we haven't seen Sarlen too much this season, but he's been all right. I don't think he's caused too much controversy. But yeah, this promises to be quite the match, doesn't it? I mean, there's no position for position. Is there anybody stronger in the Badgers team?
Not in terms of ability, but in terms of performance, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, there are some players like Duff and Yavin on his day, McPhee even who can really cause some problems. Why are they wearing yellow? Yeah, frankly, not the fan of yellows. But Oxford didn't win today. A 3-3 draw in a quality match, of course, but they are gone. Savage going 3-1 Badgers, and Tato going 3-2 Badgers. Let's get it underway. And the kick-off immediately sees Phoenix going forward a bit more.
4-0 Phoenix and 2-1. 2-1 Badgers we've got as well, prediction wise.
With 2 for Duff. Will anyone get the first goal in? Oh, we had a chance there for Rivaldo.
1-6.
Quite the set of fixture predictions today. We're 15 minutes in, no goal so far. Larson's had a chance. And Very little going on at this point now. But checking is McPhee's had a shot off target. And Priest, oh, there's Rui Costa putting it in. I think Priest couldn't hold on to it. Priest? He's Dutch, I think. It's 10 minutes to half time, still 1-0. And Rui Costa is at separating the two sides as it is. Neil Sky takes a yellow card. Anyone going to get back in? Maldini's taking a yellow as well. And Yavin puts one just wide just before half time. Late chance. Oh, the bottom of the post and goes wide. Larson putting one off target for Phoenix. Quite a set of attacks there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's been fairly cagey, hasn't it? Really, in terms of a lot of the play. But Priest with the 9-1 or an 8 tells you Phoenix have had a few good chances. Montero in the centre of defence for Phoenix on an 8 as well as Simeone. So they must have had some defensive work to do for both teams. But overall, Phoenix are just shading it in terms of player ratings overall.
Yeah, I think Tato will be fairly pleased that Vance Warner's playing quite well in a defensive midfield role, which is certainly something there, isn't it? And Badgers, while Tato's here, we'll go to Badgers first. Conditioner myth, so don't worry about that at all. Richie Wellens putting in plenty of tackles, winning a few. Vance Warner been very, very successful in what he's doing, and Justin Lee Collins is winning a few headers as it is as well for the team. So yeah, not too bad as it stands. You might want to make a change or two. Looking to Phoenix and teams fully fit. Rui Costa with the goal. No one really setting the world alight. I'd seen Ronaldo's name quite a few times. Sullivan off for Cameron is going to be the Badgers change. So Sullivan off and Cameron. There we are. So, and that's it until 16. And Fifey singing some lovely chimney sweep songs as we go on to this bit. Yeah. So, let's take a quick look at the Phoenix stats then.
Yeah, Montero's having an excellent game at the back, isn't he? 6 out of 6 tackles, 3 of them key. That's why he's got his 8 so far. But there's not really an awful lot being going on for anyone else out there. No one else is really having a decent performance. Simeone's got an 8, but he's won 1 out of 3 tackles and half his headers, so he's not really doing an awful lot statistic wise out of those lot. But they are shading it in terms of shots on goal. Out the Rivaldo's had 3 out efforts on target. Rui Costa's had 2 and got a goal. And Badgers just don't seem to be shooting on target, which is the problem for those guys.
Not yet. Not yet. There'll only be chances in the second half. Priest needs to keep playing that absolute blinder, I think, though. So here we are to the second half, and it seems like Badgers have come out on the front foot, and they have been taking it forward. But Wellens has been booked for a foul. I think it was on Turan. Then really it's turned a lot more yellow with Phoenix. It just doesn't look natural. See Phoenix there in yellows, but we've got a yellow card there for Carlos Gamma, and there Justin Walker equalises 1-1, and it's time for substitutes. Walker hitting them on what I thought was Phoenix domination that half. Well,
Yeah,
that start to the half.
it's just come at the right time, hasn't it? That goal just before the substitutes. Warner's on a 9 now, so he's obviously had a good start to the second half. But yeah, it's the Badgers didn't really seem to be doing much in terms of attacking compared to Phoenix, but they've got the goal. That's all you can ask for. And going into the last half an hour here, these subs could be crucial, and some of these predictions could still come off.
Yeah, the 6-1's still there. The 2-1, not a 4-0 though. The 3-1's there, 3-2. My prediction of a game of football, yeah, they're all still going apart from the one. And yeah, looking at what Tato might do. He'll come up with his choices while we take a look at the Phoenix squad. Less is more, but Cafu's looking done in, isn't he? Really, as it stands, with his thigh injury. Would you take Cafu off and bring on Torricelli?
Yeah, I think so. They've got a specialist on the bench, haven't they? He's injured. He's got an 8, so he's played well. But I think with a thigh injury, you don't want to have him pull his thigh and be out for a few weeks.
Especially not with games in just a few days' time, so
See,
you won't do
Torricelli's
that.
a ready-made replacement, so he can come.
Yeah, yeah, and so we've got Scalia for Fowler with his yellow card, and the other sub there of McPhee off for Jimmy Somerville. Leave them as they Yeah, that's the great ideas from Tato managing both teams at once. Phoenix are rattled, leave them as they are. Perfect. So that's followed both subs instructions, yeah. We're all good.
Nicely poised for the last half hour.
Somerville v. Scully. Good. Yes, very nicely poised. Will we get the same as we got in the first half of the season? So, chances going forward are there immediately a goal for Rivaldo. 1-0. 2-1 to Phoenix. 20 minutes left in now. It's a penalty as well. Larson scores for 3-1.
Just need 3 more now for 5 his
Very
prediction to come
true.
in.
Richie Wellens has been sent off for his second yellow. It has all gone off the boil for the potatoes.
Yeah, he'll have to grab his jacket, won't he? And yeah,
Yeah, he's had his chips. Oh, Tato, what's gone on for your team since the subs? They rattled, and they were so rattled you made 2 changes. It's going to be an interesting idea here. Wellens will be playing fairly well. But yeah, Priest still hanging on. Walker central, and we will try and fix this.
are you going to run forward still? Are you putting
I
his
think
run
we
back
will
on?
run forward. Yeah, we will run forward. You're absolutely right.
It's
There
going
he
to be
is.
Bob the Builder if he can fix this, isn't he?
Into the last few minutes of this match, still at 3-1. Can they get anything else out of this game? I don't know which team I'm talking about at this point. But 5 minutes more of normal time. Batistuta going forward. There he is, 4-1. And Phoenix, as it stands, going top of the league with a 4-1 victory. Which, really, you look at 60 minutes, and I don't think I could have seen that much of a gulf between the sides.
No, you couldn't. It was just I think Phoenix quality, the ability they've got out shone that out through, didn't it? At the end, Rivaldo, Rui Costa, Batistuta with a 9, Larson with an 8. So the 4 players have got at the top of the pitch all an excellent game. Not quite the same for all the Badgers' defences. The Duff and Finn only 6s. Collins a 6. So they're the 3 main defenders. And they just didn't have the shooting boots on today. 3 out of 7 on target is pretty poor by the Badgers' standards. Gives Phoenix a bit of pride back in this fixture. But Badgers will have to come again next time because they just didn't all show up today.
Yeah, I mean, an hour of excellent football from Badgers. We take a look at the goals quickly. We haven't seen the first half goals there. So, yeah, it was a rebound off of Rivaldo, a chance that Rui Costa's put the rebound in. And then the goal just before substitutes, the equaliser, Walker from Vance Warner's ball in. Lovely play. Then Rivaldo with a volley from Batistuta's ball. A few minutes later, a foul from Warner pushing over Rui Costa and Larson dispatching the penalty. Wellens squaring up to Simeone. You don't do that, even on a yellow card. Well, especially on a yellow card, sorry. Don't do that.
You
And
just kick him in the calf, don't you, when you're on the
yeah,
floor?
yeah, that's the way to do it. To Simeone. And then, so Duff tackling Batistuta, but Rui Costa's got it, and Batistuta's on the end of that one as well. So, yeah, looking into it, I mean, Warner, Collins, tackle wise, they're going to be fairly pleased with what they've done. But yeah, Vance Warner's
I,
played
I
very
don't
well.
know. Collins has missed half his tackle or
He
over half
has, I
his tackles, hasn't
suppose.
he?
You're absolutely right, yeah.
Wellens was the same, so they're going into plenty but missing it. Whereas Warner's had a good performance. Duff's going. Finnan's had a shocker in the first half. He'd had 4 tackles, none won, and he's only won 1 out of 8. So that's poor by Finnan's standards, and you expect him to do better next time. Positive is Walker's had a good game, got a goal, got involved in the tackling. Warner's played fairly well, other than giving away the penalty. And Priest played fairly well in goal to say he's conceded 4 as well. So there are some positives still to be had, but they just weren't there at the best of the game today.
And then when you look at Paulo Montero being the absolute monster in defence there, it shows that he stopped a lot of the attacks.
Yeah, that's how to tackle, isn't it? But his rating dropped in the second half for some bizarre reason. He went from an 8 to a 7, didn't he? But forward players had the ball late on, got the goals and played well. So the way they've set up has worked wonders today, and particularly in that last half hour.
A goal and 2 assists for Rui Costa. No wonder he's man of the match there. Wonderful. Notice time wise, we're going fairly slow. So let's get into the third game. We're going to come away from Fortuna. We're going to take it into the East Coast match at this point. Dimble's been waiting very, very patiently since I think 6 p.m. for this game tonight against Racers. And to be honest, the Racers squad has. I'm not even sure if the Racers squad has been checked for tonight, but we will just have a look. I think they're probably all available. East Coast, last time out, at that 0-0 draw with Phoenix that we saw. Last time they met Racers, it was just 1-0 back in the day, and it was an Okoronkwo goal that separated the sides there in the second half.
Yeah, this was before Big Dunk, wasn't it? So now he's in the team this time. It could be different, couldn't it? They've got Ferguson, Salva, Bonk, Estebury. It's a decent forward line. Compared to Barijo, didn't quite offer a goal threat as much earlier on in the season, but he was playing well, as shown by his man of the match in that game last time. A few less arrows than we used to see in this team, isn't it? They've gone for the put the defenders out wide and run them in tactic, but it'd be interesting to see how Racers have set up in opposition. I presume they've gone for the standard Racers formation, haven't they? So they will be quite central. But yeah, I wouldn't fancy Martin Keown at right back or Montero at left back. But we've seen that formation seems to work in getting the best out of the centre backs.
Yeah, it's worked for Real Lee, hasn't it, this season? And Real Stay tried it, I think, in the last match that they played as well. So yeah, something about this formation that's got a bit about it. And yeah, when I saw the team, I thought, where are the rest of the arrows? But considered selection. Definitely heading on to the Racers match, and hopefully for East Coast, of course. Hopefully for East Coast, they can keep up that pace towards the top of the league. They do need it. And so, Phoenix and Hulls. Did Phoenix go to the top of the league? They're both. Are they absolute? Well, obviously, yeah. Phoenix must be top of the league. Yeah, goal difference is way better.
Yeah.
In that match, I was comparing them as 1 goal apart, but no, they were 10 goals apart, just about at this point. So yeah, East Coast on to that. Racers, team is fully available, so they're being left exactly as they are from last match.
Yeah, I can't remember how they got on last time, but they didn't play at the best, did they? Last time round, I don't think.
1-0 defeat to Madrid in the league. Yep, it was the league. Of course, Madrid went and played a cup match last time, so 1-0 defeat that dropped them down to 13th. It was.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the strike partnership they got now with Bellamy and Earnshaw. I think it offers a bit more of a goal threat than Hartson has done this season. Got a bit more pace in behind, haven't the two of them? And although Earnshaw's not scored yet, he's offering something different. Gig Speed Davis is your standard Welsh midfield, isn't it? Fowler was pretty poor last time out with a 5, so hopefully he can be better today. And they've got Partridge at left back, haven't they, rather than Barnard, so at least he'll have a bit more stamina to get through the game.
So yeah, he's in the Barnard with his. Is he still 4? I think 4's probably his absolute peak of stamina. And did play a season as Barnsley, and he went to a 4 after about 5 games and stuck there all season. So yeah,
And Mike's brother at right back again. So again, he's played all right since he's come in there. So let's see if he has another good game.
yeah. Let's keep him in and see how things go for the Racers.
I'm going to say
Predictions:
3-0 this time.
3-0, comfortable East Coast win. So they had Crocodile refereeing last time they met each other, and this time around they got arse. So it's from the biting to the bitten. Let's see what will happen with this match. So we're gonna see
A
who
couple
can
of
win.
couple of 4-0 predictions in.
Yeah, some big chances here. Savage predicting Robbie Savage will get involved and play a decent game. It seems quite even. So far. Now it's very grey, and then going forward, Esperia, Boya. Oh, chance maybe. Montero scored the opening goal. I don't think I'd put Montero as a potential opening goal scorer, but there he is, 1-0, and half an hour in, Robert Earnshaw has equalised. Just as Quinton was saying, Earnshaw offers up something different. Ferguson's missed a header. That's surely not possible. And then down the other end with a chance at Bellamy as well. And back to East Coast going on the attack. Anything a chance for a third goal before half time, maybe. No, still not at half time, and that is an interesting East Coast set of ratings there.
Yeah, it's a pretty poor game so far, isn't it? By all the player standards, just sevens for the outfielders. Montero, even with his goals, only got a seven, hasn't he? So they're not at the best by far. But again, Fowler's letting races down. That's his second five in a row. Speed's doing all right with a seven. Earnshaw's got a seven. A couple more sevens in their team, but yeah, I mean, East Coast will be disappointed so far to not be in front at this stage.
Yeah, indeed. But they have only put 2 shots on target, which is very strange for the side. And I'm sure there were more. Well, actually, there were 11 chances during the game. It's why there's plenty to commentate on. The goals
Yeah, do you want to
wise,
look at the teams to see how the players are for condition with the Dimble in here?
yeah, let's have a really quick check of the goals and then get straight on to the other team. So Montero has basically put in a rebound off a bonk free kick. Dimmo wants to go to 60 minutes. And races aren't here, and they've got 1 pound for a substitute generally, which is just to sort of manage at 65, well, 60 minutes even, 65 for the prediction originally. Speed down to Earnshaw. Earnshaw with a header, headed it down to Earnshaw, scores a header. That's quite an interesting set of stuff there. Yeah,
Earnshaw is small, though, isn't he? Really small.
the old half a foot tall, getting it in from on his knees. John Terry, 8 passes, 6 completed, quiet half for him. No tackles needed.
Yeah,
Yes,
get him off.
yeah, anytime. And yeah, I mean Melville's been certainly probably the most involved in trying to get something out of his team.
Yeah, well, that's it. 60% of his tackles. He's certainly trying, isn't he? Other than that, partner alongside him, Coleman's not won any tackles, has he? Whereas he's won both his headers. So Fowler, real poor. Yeah, 20% of his tackles won, not won a header. Not really done an awful lot. So again, I'd be looking to give him a rest. I think just because he's been absolutely terrible in these last couple of games. And not so much action from the fullbacks. Partridge had only 2 passes in the first half, done a couple of tackles, but he needs to get a bit more involved and they need to get Robbie Savage on the ball a little bit more.
Yeah, races subs only be made if it's condition related, really, at this point. So we get to 60 minutes, and East Coast have come out more attacking than their opponents at this point. Coleman's taken the yellow card, suggesting that East Coast now are there to try and take this game. Is Elias going forward? Bowyer with a chance, maybe? Nothing coming of it. Bowyer there eventually gets that goal in just a couple of minutes later, and it's 2-1 to East Coast Warriors. Duncan
That's more like
Ferguson,
it. Isn't it? Salva's on a 9, Boy's on an 8. They're playing a little bit better now.
yeah, and naturally Duncan Ferguson is tired.
Yeah, well, you'd expect that from Big Duncan. He's given it a fairly decent shift. He had that one opportunity earlier on, but he's not really had too many shots on goal, I don't think.
Uh,
Races, on the other hand, they're not so tired, are they?
yeah,
But
they'll
they're
be left as they are.
just not coming forward so much.
They will be left as they are for tonight. So, will East Coast make a change? That's all we're looking for at this point. Ferguson yet one chance, which was I don't think it was a header because I'm not sure headers count as shots. So I think he's had 2 chances. I think he's had a header off target,
I
and
think Eder must count as a shot, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it will. I know it doesn't sometimes, but
there was something the other day during the Super League where I'm pretty convinced there was a header and another shot, and only the shot counted towards this. So Verijo for Doug Ferguson and Enrique for Esterbria. So take a look at that. Verijo coming on. Sub 3, he's moved up the order a little bit recently. And
can
there's
Enrique be a hero?
Hey, baby. There we are. So that's the 2 subs made at that point. I don't think they're making the third. Would have been pretty clear if it was by now. So standing ovation for Big Dunk. Yes, of course. He gets one every time for the videos and stuff that he makes. So just half an hour left of this game. Barijo's come on and made an impact immediately of trying to get the ball into net. Luis Enrique scores. That's even better impact. 3-1 to East Coast. It seems like they're going to keep that pressure on. And of course, all the pressure at the moment is on Trafford, who have yet to play tonight, playing against Wanderers of Wolverhampton, is it tonight for them? Gary
Not sure.
Speed, though, 3-2. So a late chance. Can they get back into this game? I thought this was all wrapped up. But they're coming forward, racers. Anything towards him. Earnshaw, it's a late equaliser. This is incredible. It's totally unforeseen. And a 3-all draw out of nowhere. Lee Bowyer's 10 is not enough at Earnshaw and Speed getting the goals for an equaliser late in the day.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have seen it coming when it went 3-1 East Coast, but as I mentioned before, the game Earnshaw does offer a bit more of a goal threat than Hearts, and he's come away with 2 goals today, his first 2 of the season. 5 out of 8 shots on target, just a much better conversion rate than East Coast. It's a disappointing result for East Coast, and you'd have expected them to win that, particularly being in the position they were in, but you've got to credit racers for coming back, and I think they're on to 9 points now, aren't they? So they're nearly, or they're creeping towards double figures. They're going to be really pleased with that performance.
Yeah, Hopkins is even better. He's better when he doesn't turn up for the games. Yeah, it is true. Yeah, he's not here today for the match. So looking at those second half goals, of which there were a fair few. So Bowyer under pressure from Savage, but still gets his end away, a shot away. Then we've got Luis Enrique off a Bowyer ball into the box. Excellent for Lee Bowyer during this game. Ingmas only makes a save from Earnshaw and Speed, puts a rebound in. And then Partridge with the assist for the equaliser. East Coast, who've definitely played well. Bowyer with the goal and an assist. Plenty of tackles. Yeah, he looked pretty good, didn't he, Lee Bowyer?
Yeah, goal and assist, that's all you can ask for, really, isn't it? Yeah, he's got involved in everything. Good all round performance. And I mean, he's done his bit, hasn't he? It's just, I suppose, the people in defensive areas have let the team down a little bit. But I mean, look, judging by the stats, they've done fairly well. Keon's had a decent game, 5 out of 7 tackles, 4 out of 5 headers. Montero's played well, got a goal. But just said of a late rally from racers come back into it. Terry's been pretty poor, hasn't he? He's not put any tackles in, which is awful for a centre back. When your team's got 2-3, it shows the ball's been up your end a fair bit. So yeah, they'll be disappointed with some of the performances there, but there are some positives in the fact that they've managed to score 3. Boy's played well. Substitution of Enrique was a master stroke, and Montero's got a goal from his position out wide.
And they're all 7s and above, so yeah, it can't have been that bad a performance. Racers just opportunistic, maybe.
Yeah, it's just how it is sometimes, isn't it? You can absolutely batter a team, or get in front like East Coast did, look comfortable, and then the momentum just shifts for no apparent reason, and Racers have come back into it and taken the chances.
And what do you need to do in football? Take your chances, yeah, absolutely. So let's move on to the next game. But look at those stats there from Melville: 8 headers out of 10, 7 tackles won, 3 of them key, 6 key headers, and yet
Yeah, and Partridge, even with his assist, has only got a 6, so he's had a pretty poor game, hasn't he, in general? But he's done what mattered near the end and created the equaliser.
Giggs with 5 runs, just at East Coast, 8 interceptions and bonk. Doing his
Barijo
domestic
with 5
duties.
runs in half an hour, not bad.
Yeah, that's something, isn't it? I didn't even notice that.
And Enrique, to be fair.
So, it's in Madrid versus Wolves today. I can't remember who Trafford are playing actually. But yeah, Madrid versus Wanderers of Wolverhampton. Madrid going unchanged after their result against Wolves last time. Last time they played against Wolfie, they were beaten 5-0 in a game that can only be described as absolutely clinical from Wolves.
Yeah, probably. Well, their best performance of the season, I would say. Wolves, they were excellent in that match, and I mean, I wouldn't expect a repeat today because Imagine Madrid are getting better, and it was a very good result for them last time out at Hulls. Mendieta had a great game, didn't he, from fullback, and he'll be looking to repeat that again today.
Yeah, let's see if he can do such a thing. But yeah, he's certainly turned a bit better recently, playing on that right hand side. So yeah, Anelka on the bench. I mean, he's what could be described as trouble. I don't think I'd want to have him in my squad personally, but yeah, it's Arse set to referee again during this match. Good night, Mr. Dimble. Thank you very much for
Good
having me
night.
on. Unfortunate those last 10-15 minutes of that match for your own team. Yeah, it's an interesting one for this team. And Elka, certainly a big drain on the team. Robbie Fowler, he's wanting a new contract. We will offer him that new contract right now.
It's good to see Fowler getting a start. Actually, he's not had much of a run in the team this season. He's only started the once, hasn't he? Which is, I mean, he's a decent enough striker. Yordi's been the main man, so they'll be looking to him again to have a good performance if they can perform better than they did in this fixture last time out.
Yeah, a 13th start in 18 games for Robbie Fowler. For Jordi Cruyff is certainly something there. So they're up against the Wanderers of Wolverhampton, and of course for today, after last time out, they beat the Iron Curtain in quite the match. Yavin scoring that early goal, not quite the same as Iron Curtain's last match for themselves. But yeah, they go into this match with Antonio Fortes playing there on the right hand side.
Yeah, great result for Wolfie last time out against the Iron Curtain, and I mean Fortes, RIP, our fallen hero. Hopefully he can get a goal tonight. I mean we've seen Anderson out there a few times, and he's not at his best as he's been normally pulled off early, and then he's got injured as well. But yeah, Fortes out there might be able to get a goal and offer him a bit more of an attacking threat.
Yes, and of course Antonio Fortes, who we recently found out, um, succumbed to life at the tender age of 82 years old, I think he was at the time. So yeah, we're going to begin this game with a deserved 10-second silence to the life of Antonio Fortes. Thank you very much. We're very well observed. Not a single sound there on the stream. So perfect. We've got Arse referee in this game. Very apt
Well, in that
to.
case, I'm going to predict Wolves to come from behind and win 2-1.
It's similar formation for Gondor last week, or was that similar 10-second silence before that? Was it the game that nothing happened for a while? Maybe that could be it. Yeah, we'll see what happens in this one. But yeah, we've got some decent players on show and a good matching prospect. And it starts off immediately with the Sedachka scoring the opening goal. I couldn't have predicted him to score. We had Montero scoring there, Sedachka scoring. Don't think I'd have seen that any day of the week, to be honest. 1-0 as it is. Early goal. And it's 1-1 though. Alan Smith has equalised just a few minutes later. The yellow card for Roy Keane. Martinez on the other side, and Yavin makes it 2-1. Heading back towards the top of the goal scoring charts, and Justin Walker 3-1. Quite the game. 3-2. Mendieta. Check and Pellets all, he might as well not be here. 25 minutes in, this is 3-2. In what is just a great match to watch, to be honest. 5 goals already. There were 5 goals the last time they met, but this time shared much more evenly than it was. And approaching half time, will they get it on? Yes, Robbie Fowler makes it 3-3. This has been an incredible game. And we've been, Robbie Fowler, it's 4-3. And I could not predict that at all for a first half of football.
No, you wouldn't see 4-3 coming, would you? I mean, I thought we were going to be on for 12-3 at one point, because Peter Cech and Pellets only might as well have not been here, like you said. But great half for Robbie Fowler, great half for football generally. And I mean, although they're conceding goals, both teams, I think you've got to be fairly pleased with that. And you're just a decent attacking show from both teams, and some good football. Madrid are edging it out. They're 3 out of 3 shots for Wolves, as you've highlighted there on target and scored. But Madrid have started to play better. 6 shots on 8 on target, 4 goals, and as a team are rating fairly well too.
4-3 at half time. I'm still getting my head around it. Let's take a look at these goals. So Duff's ball in, and Sidachka scores. I mean, that's the fullbacks combining for Wolves, and then for the equaliser, Robin plays it into Smith, who's got a diving header. We then have Walker into Yavin, who manages to get himself into space and has put one in. Walker with a free kick. Mendieta with a free kick. So two direct free kicks during this game. Robin into Fowler, Robert Fowler, I remember him. And Fowler again from a Lampard. Ball in, and that's our goals for the first half. So yeah, excellent first half for Robin as an assist machine.
Yeah, not bad, is that? Two assists for Robin. He'll be deserving of his £125 a week.
Yeah,
Uh,
his new contract's offer, of course. Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, it's good to see a couple of teams going forward and attacking and getting goals. And I mean, Wolves are the first team to come flying out the blocks and get an early goal tonight, aren't they? And it just shows what a difference it can make to the way the matches go.
the
Because even though
whole
we had the
match.
3-3
Yeah,
last time, it was pretty slow till late on, wasn't it? But yeah, excellent performances from some of the players. So Madrid are edging it in terms of ratings too. Cole's having a good game at fullback, 4 out of 5 tackles, but not a lot going on in terms of the rest of the team. Smertin's got 3 out of 4, Campo 2 out of 2, but there's not a lot of tackles and headers going on generally. So just seems to be a good half of football for both, and you just got to hope for more of the same in the second half, don't you, for a bit of entertainment for everyone.
yeah, it seems extremely direct from what we can see from both team stats. Dave Barnett's played a first half where he's made 4 passes. The defence between them, look at it, they've made 11 successful passes in a game that, quite often is built up from around the back. So, yeah, Yavin, Walker, Sinachka, goals, and, I mean, what's there to say? This has been a very, very intriguing match, and I think we should just get on with it. Both teams generally pretty reluctant to make subs, aren't they, as well? So, let's get going. If only the managers are here to watch their team tonight, but of course it's such a ridiculously late starting time that you can completely understand why they're not. And we've got almost time for subs where we'll have a little look at it, but he's still at 4-3. Yavin's put one wide just to check that there's no one absolutely ruined. There isn't, so they'll continue. And for the Wolves, who have improved a bit, I think.
Would we see Anderton for Fortes at this point?
I don't think we would. This is
He's doing all right in terms of fitness, isn't he, by his
yeah. He's
standards?
surviving to 81. I think.
Well, he did.
Yes, very true, very true. Let's move forward with the game. Both teams not making subs. Might be one forced on us, we never know. But yeah, we just that half hour to go in the match. Can anyone get another goal? Will Madrid kill off the game, or will the Wolves get themselves back into this? It was a great first half of football, a very quiet second, but with just over 10 minutes to go, it's still very, very finely poised. Keane with a header. And I don't know. It's gone quiet there. Robbie Fowler gets himself a third goal in just his second start for the team. It's quite the performance for Fowler. 5-3 the result today.
Yeah, I think by the player ratings, Madrid have edged it, but I think both teams can be proud of both managers can be proud of the teams for just putting on a good show of football. It's quite often the case, isn't it, when the first half goes mad for goals. There's not an awful lot happening in the second half, but it's nice that there was one extra one. It's a shame for Wolves they couldn't pull it back and equalise it, because I don't think either team really deserves to lose when you have a half like that in the first half, but yeah, good result for Madrid, and they are coming into a bit of form, picking up points and catching those teams above them. So maybe they can get out of trouble. And Wolves have had better days, haven't they? They put a few past these last time, and they'll have better days again. But great performance from both.
Looks like Alan Smith's done very, very well for that goal to play in Fowler. Taken on Yavin, and Duff played it in to Fowler.
And Keane as well.
Oh, even before that, yeah, you've noticed that. So, yeah, Smith, very, very well played. Fowler, great performance. 2 strikes on a 10. And for Wolves, yeah, they put in a few more passes, but unfortunately, we just outdone by their opponents, and there's things to think about for both sides. Madrid on a roll, like you said.
Credit to the manager for putting Fowler in, and he's rewarded his manager with a hat trick there. So yeah, good result for him, good performance, and hopefully them two teams will be playing well for the rest of the season.
And speaking of the rest of the season, I don't think we'll get a result like this again.
No, I don't think we'll see it. I mean, Ewan could score 12 today. They've got a weaker opponent today than these guys, but yeah, I mean, I'd be pretty surprised for a 10 on 10 action for over a half.
Hit 12-3 last time round. And Iron Curtain go into it knowing that apart from Milevski, full squad to choose from. And this is the side they picked today, something different.
Yeah, I think we've seen Romoshenko in centre defence, haven't we, for a lot of the season?
Most of
But
the
seeing him
time,
in
yeah.
defensive mid, that's a lot better for me. I think he's more. I tend to play him in centre mid or attacking mid, but he's quite home in defensive, isn't he? And we pushed three into attacking mid this time rather than just having three in centre. So I like the way they've changed it up a bit. And do you know, I quite fancy them to get a result today against Trafford. Not necessarily a win, but I fancy them to get at least a point. So in fact, I'm going to go for a win. I'm going to say 2-1 Iron Curtain just for a bit of a surprise and upset because I like what they've done and put it together. But I mean, Trafford have plenty of quality, don't they? But I like what they've done with the formation to try and go on the offensive a bit more.
It would be very, very interesting for the league if that could happen.
And they've got Tumilovic on the bench, haven't they, just to make
A
certain.
goalkeeper, yeah, goalkeeper's been put on the bench. Would you believe it? Goalkeeper who's a bit disappointed, but he's not conceded in 3 cup games that he's played, and he wasn't on the bench for the cup game last time out. They're playing, of course, Trafford, and Trafford have gone with nothing weakened about their team whatsoever, really.
Well, there isn't anything weak about the squad, is there? They've got the 25 best abilities on the game, I think. So yeah, I mean, if any team's got Tomadera and Maxim Sigalko up front, then yeah, you're going to be guaranteed goals, aren't you? So not a lot you can say about that team. They're all probably the best players in the world in their positions. So, say on ability, you'd expect them to win, but why not fancy a shock? We had a 1-1 draw last time, but
There it is,
it
yeah.
involved 10 men, didn't it?
Yeah, Cannavaro just playing the last 15 minutes with 10 men, and by that point, though, they had already been at 1-1, so, and Salah was refereeing that game. So, yeah, did Salah send off a player today?
It's a strict referee today, by the look of it, isn't it?
Referee today, Fistum is refereeing, so it'll be quite
Torras Fistum.
sore ass fisting. That's quite the name. Yeah, so I don't know. It should be a good game this one. A good goal. Let's get on with the goal. And it seems like it's been quite quiet early on. Ferguson's with a chance and he's put that off target. But Tomadera coming forward as well. Riquelme. Nothing coming of it for the Trafford's attacks, which are still going. Shevchenko's managed to put a shot in for Iron Curtain, but to no avail. It's getting a bit more even, but Ringmaton's been tested a little bit for Iron Curtain. It seems like towards half time this is still quite well poised, 0-0. Lots of chance in the crowd for the Iron Curtain, but they are losing to a Zidane goal for 1-0 at this point. It's approaching the half time point, and it's still 1-0. Will they get a second goal? They will not, and it's half time. So, stat wise, Trafford not necessarily that much better.
No, CP, as the stats show, I've had the better of the chance, haven't they? 3 out of 4 on target. Trafford have been a bit wayward in the shooting. They've just had Zidane take a chance, haven't they? Whereas the Iron Curtain haven't managed to do that yet. But I think they have been a bit stronger later on in games generally. Maybe not so much in that cup match against you and Rovers, but they do tend to come into it a little bit better later on.
Yeah, if they're going to come into it later on, they've got to hope that the Trafford side tire and Zidane, it was with a free kick for the goal. So looking into it, it seems like Trafford and Iron Curtain have barely been passing the ball.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a scrappy game, hasn't it? I mean, plenty of tackles going in from both teams. Ball not in the air so much for headers, but no one's really having a standout game. To's having a fairly decent game up front, and Zidane's got the goal. Khan's got an 8 goal, but just 6s and 7s from the rest of the team. Nesta's put the best tackles in at the back, but again, no one outstanding. So I think the game's open for both teams at the moment because I think Iron Curtain are performing similarly in terms of ratings. Tetrad's as the one who's all over his headers and tackles, and they get them all won. Krakowski's playing well too. So there are some positive signs. They just need to the players in the attacking positions getting the shots on target and testing Khan a little bit more because I don't think this one's over yet.
Yeah, I mean, if Sigalko is not playing because he's at 88%, then maybe we'll see him a bit later on. We shall see, but yeah, no subs being called up by either team at this point. 60 minutes we go. And it seems like Trafford are much more on the attack still as it stands. And there it is, 2-0. It's Sigalko with the finish for Trafford. Penalty. Andy Metolin saves it after bringing down the player for the goal. So Metolin saves the penalty. And we head towards 60 minutes.
It's a good job he wasn't sent off, isn't it?
Again. And there's a substitute time. So Trafford, their plans 85 or less. First of all,
You'd have expected Sigalko to have been banned from this one with them playing for the opposition and the Iron Curtain, but yeah, it's done what that to do at the start of the second half. Haven't they got 2 goals in front, and it's their league to lose really with the quality of the squad they've got.
yeah, it's huge. I mean, to me, this is Okaron and Giants midfield.
Well, no, I don't know about that because you've got specialist midfielders. You've got Veron and Aymar, haven't you? So
But this is
I
a
would just go
defensive
for one of
midfield
those
change.
guys rather
What,
than.
Barry Ferguson further back and Veron into midfield?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's how I'd do it, and just keep the other guys for defence. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way of doing it.
85 or less still. Anybody else? No. Anyone 6 or less? No. And we'll keep one sub if available. Well, that's the one sub that they used to do there. And for Iron Curtain, look at 80 or less for this team. And as it stands, 79 Carpine is withdrawn. And that will be, looking at it, it's going
There's
to
not
have to
really
be
a lot of
Stoltz's,
attacking
isn't it?
talent, is there, other than Stolz's. Yeah, it's either that or you put Shevchenko into attacking mid and Maxim up front. But I think Stolz's is natural there, isn't he?
Absolutely, especially in that sort of position. Stoltz's can do a job, so let's push on. And with half an hour left in this match, there's Barry Ferguson from defensive mid now scoring the goal. 3-0 to Trafford. It's pretty convincing. They'll be keeping the lead in the table at this point with just a few matches left. So, 15 minutes left of this one. Sigalko makes it 4-0. Oh, he's quite the match for yawning at this time of night, of course. But yeah, it's been an interesting game, but I think the Iron Curtain have been done over by a very much superior side.
Yeah, they're too strong really out there, Trafford. When you're playing against them, when you've got a team. I mean, we saw last game where there was 2 fairly evenly matched teams having a great game out, but it's been one-sided this time. And although I predicted an Iron Curtain, you just hoping the high abilities have an off day, but there's so many of them in that Trafford squad. There's even if a couple of them have an off day, there's the other ones to take them through.
Yeah, to pick up the pieces hugely. And you look at that Trafford with 4 extra shots compared to their opponents. You can count those as the 4 that have gone in. Goals wise for it, we had Zidane's free kick. Then we've got Sigalko with a move from Zidane, really creating most of it there, putting on a plate for him. Madeira, some good work, and Ferguson with the finish. And the other goal there is Condola in towards Sigalko, and Sigalko scores that goal.
It was a Zidane assist, that one. Got 2 assists, and Sigalko missed the pen, so he could have had a hat-trick in this game.
And there we have the missed penalty from Sigalko, it was. So, yeah, with Trafford, as it stands there, it's, they've done fine, haven't they? And Nesta has put in a good defensive performance.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they've all played well. It's I say that, but they're all high abilities, aren't they? So they're a tough team to beat. I think that they really need everyone to be off the game, don't they? The night Fifey. But yeah, I mean, they didn't have a lot to do in defence. Did they? A couple of sevens and Zidane on a 10, Madeira on a 10. Sigalko's got a 9 and missed a pen. So it could have been worse for the Iron Curtain.
Yeah, very much so. Thank you for shouting there. Lovely, great to see one in charge of your team for the first time, and a much better result than possibly predicted from before. So for Iron Curtain, yeah, there's not really a lot to report. They were just outdone.
Yeah, they're outclassed. I mean, it's a great concept that they've got going on, and I did like the formation they put together. But yeah, I mean, it's difficult to read too much into it against Trafford just because the abilities of each of them is better than the Iron Curtain. I think their third choice keeper is Nick Matulin, who's got 188 ability or potential, and it's first choice for Iron Curtain. So it just shows that difference between the two squads. So can't read too much into it. They'll have better nights than that, and they've not disgraced themselves other than Smertin and perhaps Nick Matulin, but at least he saved the pen.
Big difference. Do we have 2 games left?
There's my game to play and Falaraki.
Yeah, just two
Don't know if there's
games.
any more.
That's
Yeah.
that's quite nice there, isn't it? I'm thinking surely we can't be that far behind. But Faraki versus Atletico Allenwell, and this is an interesting one. Last time around, Faraki beaten in extra time just a few days ago by Fortuna, and last time they played Allenwell, it was 2-1 to their opponents.
Yeah, I mean, I like both these teams. I like both the squads they've got. They're good balance of players in there. There's some real quality in both the teams. The formations have put together have had some good results as well this season. So 2 good teams, 2 good managers, and it'll be interesting to see if I mean Falaraki will be hoping to get the away win this time just to balance things up between them both. But it's a tough one to call, this, isn't it? I'm probably just going to sit on the fence and say 1-1 for this one because my predictions have been all off. But um, just hoping for a decent entertainment on this one.
And we have tonight another viewer. Steve Wright is here
Good evening, Steve.
to watch this. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, he's been watching tonight and hoping for some excellent action at this point. So yeah, last time they played today, Steve Falaraki, though sees a change of setup, and Samuel Eto'o getting only his second league start of the season.
Yeah, I can't remember Van der Vaart playing too much in midfield either for these guys as well.
First start, you're right.
I mean, I mean, they're both good players. Eto'o running forward as well could cause some danger from midfield, and Sigalko and Savio up front is an excellent partnership, isn't there? So some great players in the Falaraki squad. So I think it's a real nice balance of the players they've got in the squad with having those guys, and on the bench we've got Joao Paiva, Damien Delaney, Enzo Maresca, some players we haven't seen many times through the league, but yeah, bringing Van der Vaart and Eto'o could just change the fortunes a little bit, and it's a decent setup. 10 good players in there. One not so good in centre back, and it could be an interesting game, this one.
The comment there on Van der Vaart being 43 or 41 for Dudley Hill. Yeah, it was number 43 is an old squad number that he had certainly back in his Dutch days. So we'll see how he gets on. Allenwell though, we haven't seen Allenwell too well. Actually, we did see them recently. Of course, we saw them in extra time as well against the Badgers with that result as it was. Today, a few players missing from the team, but a decent side all the same.
Yeah, I mean, four players out is tough, isn't it? When you've only got sort of 22 outfield players to choose from. So Casano's probably going to be the biggest miss, and we see Lorison come into midfield, and I mean, he's played fairly well, I think, when he has played. I think if I remember correctly, we've got Masudi Ekikanga on the right, Petr on the left, so it gives some nice width. Yeah, a couple of goals, couple of assists for Larison. Yavin up front with Bonk and Ricketts in behind. So again, yeah, good setup for these guys. Again, real nice balance of the squad. Some excellent players in there. Ricketts has performed well this season, so hopefully he can have another good game. And yeah, two good teams as I mentioned before. So I have to sit on the fence for this one because I can't call a winner. It'll be interesting to see what other people are predicting.
I think you don't want a winner as well, based on your own team and how they are in the league. I think a draw
I
would
think
suit you
are these
best.
not too far in front of me? I don't think I'll catch either of these because of the quality. But no, I say it's. I think that they both played well this season, both of these two, and it is tough to call a winner because they're evenly matched. So let's hope we have another game like the Imagine Madrid and Wolves match.
Which was a classic first half. And can we get anything like that in this match? It's a fairly slow start to the match. A
One
chance
all
that
from
you haven't
Steve. Yeah, I'm going with that.
just got off target. Yes, they go for the 1-all. As you say, it's well, there's going to be a fairly close match between them for how well they played this season and how much they decent matchups as a side, definitely. Half an hour into this game, we're still at 0-0. This is showing just how close they are, I guess. Yellow card for Larison opens the action. Really, it's been very shot shy. I would say lots of taking them off each other, but very few shots have gone in. And
Saviola hitting the crossbar there for Falaraki
there is a
and a goal for
goal,
Ricketts.
Michael Ricketts with a goal just before half time, and 1-0 Allenwell.
Yeah, I think on the balance of play, it looks like stats back it up as well. It looks like they deserve it, but again, Falaraki, one of these teams that come into it a bit later on. I think we've seen some good performances after the 60-minute mark from these, and Saviola's on a 5 at the moment, just after hitting the crossbar. I wouldn't expect him to stay on a 5 as the game progresses. But yeah, Ricketts is continuing his good season with the goal. So it is Alan Wells. They have just shaded that first half, and the player ratings tell that story. But it's a very evenly poised match.
Yeah, no managers here at the moment tonight, I don't think. So, as it looks, we'll be keeping Allenwell as they are at half time for the next part of the game.
30 passes for Bonk's a good half, isn't it? He's
Yeah,
been dominant. 5 out of 6 headers, 1 out of 2 tackles. So good performance from him. And Saviola's getting some stick from the fans there.
yeah. Let's have a little look why. Yeah, the 5 there is quite the summary, isn't it, of what he's done, but he's not usually that poor.
He's
For
one of them players, isn't he, Saviola, the rabbit, who's he just pops up, doesn't he, and gets the goals. So he can keep shooting. He don't let the missed chances put him off, and he'll. I mean, you wouldn't back against him to score in the second half, although he's been called a myth.
So
He's
towards
got
60.
he's got 7 in the game this season for you and Rovers, so he's
Oh
pretty
yeah, of
decent.
course, yeah. Chance there, Yavin has come forward, and it is an injury to Ekiog, who is probably the best
0%
defensive
condition.
player on the pitch. Yeah, 0%. Kamuna would be the obvious substitute at this point.
Yeah, or Chris Marsh, yeah, but yeah, Kamuna, I think top sub, he'll have to come in there. He's
Yeah, so almost the time for the subs, and here we are. They come in, and Allenwell, they can make two subs, but I don't think they will. Got Ricketts there. Any of them carrying an injury is the first plan, isn't it? Of course. Yavin, a shin injury, and Said, a knee injury. Now, if I were to withdraw one, I think it would be Said.
I'd have taken the knee injury off over the shin.
It's just more of who it is what I'm thinking. Just like Yavin needed for attacking play more than anyone who's on that bench. There are no forwards.
Yeah, and Said's got the knee injury, hasn't he? Yeah. So it's
Oh, is it?
yeah,
Yeah.
Said off in Lola on, is it, or Dean Keats? Do you reckon?
Let's just see who's played more this season. Lola's played 8 starts. And
Dan is very yawny. You're right, Steve. It's over. I'm just watching him on the video, and he's just constantly yawning.
I
It's
am, but stay, I'm
absolutely
awake.
terrible.
That's the difference, is that I won't fall asleep. Yeah, it's Ilola.
Yeah, at least the co-commentators are awake this time, to be fair as well. But excellent co-commentary last time, Steve. It was a lovely performance, and I must say, if anyone else fancies the co-commentary gig at any point, then you're more than welcome. Just let Dan know, and you can sort that out.
Yeah, we've had quite a few. We've got one or two lined up to come in soon for first appearances, and there's some interesting ones to make their debuts coming up soon. Definitely. Steven Gerrard being withdrawn for Falaraki. In fact, is he being withdrawn for Falaraki? I think we would do naturally.
Well, I'd probably take him off his card. He's 79, but what's
Yeah,
the
they are
managerial
losing.
instructions?
If losing, then bring on Paiva for the worst performing striker. Saviola's been awful, hasn't he?
Yeah, although they're both on the 6, he's not his best tonight, is he, Saviola?
And I would withdraw Gerrard because of his
What do you reckon,
fitness.
Enzo Maresca? Soroczynski?
Sorochinski's played a lot more, hasn't he, this season? He's made more starts. Maresca has only made one, so it's going to have to be
He's
Sorochinski.
got three assists in 4, though, hasn't he? Maresca, but he's probably been playing lower league oppositions.
Yeah, that's quite right there. Yeah, so
Yeah, Vlad's been shouted by the fans, so let's get him on.
will he impale the opposition at this point? 25 minutes to go, and it's looking like a very, very finely poised game. Still 1-0 to Allenwell. Falaraki looking to get back into this game. There's been.
Oh, post, Sigalco and Bar again there.
It's one of those that there's another goal in this game, surely, but which way is it going to go? Absolutely no idea. Benera taking a yellow card as well. Yavin off target. About 5 minutes more to go in these games. And off the woodwork again. Incredible. Incredible. Is this going to hold up for a 1-0? It is. Big, big win for Atletico Allenwell.
Yeah, good result for those guys. I mean, Falaraki can count themselves unlucky at hitting the woodwork 4 times. So 7 shots, 2 on target, 4 off the woodwork, and a miss entirely. So I think you've got to say Alumwell probably deserve it on the balance of play and the player ratings we've seen, but Falaraki can count themselves unfortunate not to get on the score sheet. But yeah, big result like you say for Alumwell. Decent performances by a lot of the players. Kamuna Lola didn't get involved too much when they came on. Commons picked up a booking. But yeah, some good performances. Bonk, Ricketts man of the match, and Rustico playing well in defence, getting his tackles in, and Ehiog were doing fairly well as well until they had to go off.
It was a good game for a 1-0. It wasn't bad at all, was it really? And you look at the opposition, I think Bonera's probably had one of his better games, ended up with a 6.
Yeah, that's harsh in looking at the things there. Unless his header, he must have just done absolutely terribly to not win it to get a 6, because 7 out of 8 tackles, decent passing, 3 interceptions. That deserves at least a 7, doesn't it? And
Yeah, it's only
Kiwa's
gone
got a
5.
5 at full back, and he's not at his best game, so he could do better. Van der Vaart's got a 7 coming in. Eto's got a 7, so some fairly decent performances from them guys, but just not too many decent chances going forward that can go inside of the woodwork rather than onto it. So yeah, good game for the two, and Alum will be really pleased to get the victory. But say Falaraki can count themselves a little bit unfortunate too.
And would you say you knew who was playing in the next match?
I do know who's playing the next match.
And of course, here we are, Fortuna Deflection versus Ewan Rovers. Last time out Fortuna played, we saw them beat Falaraki. Last time when they played Ewan, though, it was a 1-0 win for Ewan Rovers with a goal from Kim Shalstrom early in the second half.
Yeah, they deserved to beat me last time as well. As you saw there was a missed penalty from Blinkorn as well. I think David Day saved that one, so it's they did deserve the victory. We didn't get started as well, just the way they played. So since then we have changed to this formation, the 3-5-2. We've got a few players who are below 100%, but We had a real good result against Falaraki in the cup to win 2-1 after extra time with Eric getting the winner. So I've tried to keep as many players in the starting lineup as possible. But yeah, Eric Rabasandran has played well since he's come in. He's surprised me because he's one of the ones I've not managed before, and he's doing all right so far.
Yeah. Get him on 97, 98 though before, I assume.
Yeah, at 97, 98, not on this one. But yeah, just liked him from the Eurosport commentary of him, and got him on
That's
97, 98.
exactly when I remember watching him as well back in the day. I never knew that commentator's name. It's,
No, just Mr. Eurosport, I think his
yeah,
name was.
the the
Fortuna
stack.
deflected their stacking and play. Well, to be fair, yeah, I did need a change of formation because I'd seen stacking were doing fairly well from that one, um, but yeah, it's changed my fortunes a little bit going for that one. We've had some decent results with that one, so I won't deflect it too much. It's credit to Stackett and a couple of other teams we've seen, like Lunwell, play that similar formation.
Blues in there as well. Bit of there's a few teams. Badgers have played that at some point, I think, as well.
For next time in the cup, we did have to go with a more attacking formation, didn't we? We moved the wingers
Oh yeah,
further
wingers.
forward and got the goal, and that's not out of the question today.
So we shall see. We shall see. It's Ewan Rovers, who are the team that just constantly spring some great results. Obviously, 12-3 doesn't really count too much, but you look at their previous results: big defeat to Badgers, but a win over Iron Curtain, and in amongst that, a draw with Madrid Madrid, victory over Racers, teams that are around them and they don't want to be around them.
No, there's plenty of good players in there, and it's not just the Vieira, Shellstrom, Saviola likes and Stem. I mean, we've seen Shellstrom's been out of the team a lot of the time, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm sure you'll get Salt onto the pitch at some point, but it's just unfortunate that they're missing one of the guys today for Shellstrom to come in after he got the winner against me last time. But yeah, they play above where they should do in terms of expectations, really, in ability and potential. But they take the chances, and they're one of the teams who are a pest, really, aren't they? They never seem to get put to bed. No one seems to. I mean, other than a Badgers result, no one really seems to batter them. They just hang them in there and come back into things.
Yeah, and I do think that they have, by being ninth in the league now, they've overachieved this season in a good
Yeah,
way.
I think so, and it's hopefully they can go to 10th after this game. I mean, Fortuna are getting abused for being money bags on there and all, but I think it's because Fortuna have such a poor squad they need to spend the money, doesn't it? Whereas there's other teams who don't maybe need to spend that much.
Salt is a very, very good player. Had him at Hale's Own when holidayed there for a year. You actually went on holiday for a year, or you went on a manager holiday for a year.
Holiday to Halesowen for a year. Yeah, this is a big game for both teams. If you can get a victory, they should probably finish above me. If I get the victory, it's puts me back in front of them. So yeah, big game for both teams, and we'll give it our best shot in this one.
Well,
I'm going to predict a victory for Fortuna, but you never know, do you? Oh, no need to apologise, Steve. All these players are going next season. I'm getting rid of a lot of them. I'm putting a different concept in, but just nice to experiment and have a bit of fun.
is it absolutely zero staying?
Absolutely zero. They're all on the transfer list, so anyone's welcome to. I mean, even David Day, Eric Rabasandra, they're all going. That don't fit the concept for next season.
So here we are, 26-1 the prediction.
That must be to you, and surely that's Fortuna haven't scored 26 all season. I think we've got 22 goals.
And you in there with 12 in one cup game. So this is a big one. This is a big one, and it's 0-0. And anyone going to score a big goal? David Collins, 1-0 for Fortuna. The early goal. And you can see there Quinton on my screen dancing like Alan Pardew at 1-0 early into the game.
I don't think I can dance that. I was going to say that well, but I
23. Yeah, it's certainly looking good for Fortuna so far. There's only Shellstrom, and that's strange that Shellstrom has developed Ewan Shalkvist into that as well. And yeah, all of the Fortuna side started well, but then Saviola with the equaliser nearly half time, and as that turned the game around, a penalty decision turned down. Was that a Stam foul turned down or a Stam Bean foul turned down?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think it might have been a stand foul, but this just proves it with you, and that they weren't playing so well. We got a fairly early goal against them. They just don't go out of the game. They got some determination, come back into it, and it's evens going into the second half, and they're probably on top towards the end of the half.
Yeah, yeah. Well, let's have a look at Bonk. The work he's done early on, past Vieira, past Saviola, and then just managed to put in David Collins. Excellent stuff going on for Fortuna at that point. For Fortuna, and then Foster, Blinkhorn, Shellstrom, Saviola. Some lovely work between the team to get that goal. Fortuna, oh, it was a penalty decision. Penalty decision, what was it? Who was it who had the penalty turned down? It was Stam taking down Nikiforenko. It was turned down for a penalty. So you back into it. Fortuna, this is where you stand.
Yeah, I'm going to leave as is. I don't know. I mean, Colin didn't play him particularly well, is he? With his, but he's got a goal. He's on 86. But yeah, I'm gonna roll to 60. See how we get on from there. They're a difficult team to shake off these, and yeah, Steve's right. He's slagged off Saviola, who's got on the score sheet. It's one of them. It's one of those things, isn't it? But it's yeah, we're just up for a good start to the second half again, and see if we can get back in front.
Steve, what negatives do you have to say about Adita Riles? Put those on the chat there as well. Adita Riles. And so for Critchley looking a little bit tired. It's probably all the exertions tonight as Blackpool manager maybe.
Yeah, it could be. Good performance in the back front from Stam in terms of tackling, but he's only got a 6. Rimmer the same, only got a 6. They're probably a bit harsh. But yeah, good performance from Saviola and Shellstrom, isn't it, for the two of those guys? And when two of their best players are playing well, then yeah, they deserve to get back into it. And it's set up nicely for the second half in these. And hopefully we can get a bit more out of Dieter and Sergey. But yeah, a lot of 6s on their team, so can I take advantage?
Can you take advantage? Oof. I think so. Based on the first half, I think you got enough to get a result out of this second one. Early start, and Bonk has had a chance to put it off target from the beginning. Saviola's missed for Ewan, and then we head up the pitch for substitutes coming in. There we are. Is there going to be a goal before it? Maybe? No, there isn't. So,
Right. Yeah, we're going to make some changes, I think, to this. If we have a look at conditions, see how we're getting on.
no.
Right. Collins is coming off, and let's bring on Carlos Jacques.
Done.
We'll let's bring off Jurgen Kohler for Amanatidis. Just bearing in mind we've got a game in. I'm going to go mad. I'm going to put 3 on.
Ooh.
And we'll bring on Michael Dunwell for. It's got to be for Lenny. Just again, he's on 81, isn't he? And I've got
Is that to send
to get the
Mickey
weekend.
Franco back to centre mid?
Yeah, we'll swap those two. And then can I make a little change to the formation? Can I move
Yep.
the wingers into attacking mid, running into Dunwell? Yes. Yeah, let's go mad. Let's see how we get on with it.
And for Ewen Rovers, no changes. They will be okay as it stands. No changes. 25 minutes or so to go in this match, and we now have Ewan stepping up the attacks a little bit more, despite the fact Fortuna have gone more attacking.
Yeah, I'm hoping it doesn't backfire on me, but I've got to try and beat him. Otherwise, I'm going to stay behind him.
That's it, yeah, certainly as it is. And with 5 minutes left, we've got not a long time to go at all. Rabassan takes yellow card. Is it going to be a goal for either team during those 5 minutes? It seems like the answer could be no, and it's no. Lenny is centralised to my other concept idea.
Oh, it must have Dean Ashton, surely. It's
Teammate. Yeah, I think you might be right. It might well be. I can't think of who else it would be unless it's
Fisodja. Is he there?
is
Can't
Ricks
remember who starts
Ben
there.
Ricks, is he there? So
But yeah, I mean, in terms of that, I can't be too displeased with the performance, other than the fact we're not shooting on target. Ewan are a difficult team to beat, as they've proved all season, and they weren't at their best either. So I think 1-all's probably a fair result, but so disappointed we can't go in front of them in the league, but we didn't deserve to based on that. Just need to get better in the attacking practice, I think, don't we? 2 out of 7 shots on target, pretty poor. Some decent performances. Bonk's played well coming back into the team, but just not enough of a showing there.
And 1-all, another draw for the team, another good performance from David Day.
Yeah, he does all right, doesn't he? He's played well, but he doesn't fit with the concept for next season, so he's free to a good home if anyone wants him. But yeah, Collins with an 8 played fairly well. But I've got a big game against East Coast coming up next. Bonk with a 9 I mean, I left him out for the cup match from the starting lineup. He came in and got the winner, or got one of the goals, I think. And that's turned out fairly good in the second half. So he's turned it around a bit, hasn't he? 6 out of 9 tackles. Bonk 7 out of 10 headers. So there are some good individual performances, just not good enough to get 2 goals.
Well, they are still a good team. Still going very, very well this season for them. For Ewan, yeah, I mean, Shellstrom has picked up the 8, Monks with the Shellquist, but the rest of the team, I think the second half's very, very quiet on the stat front.
Yeah, I'd say they were the best by far, Ewan. So if they had been, they'd have beaten me. So yeah, not their best either, but they stay in 9th position. And you know, the one of them teams that I say you can't put to bed, because they hang in there and keep going. So fair play to them. Again, it's a real good concept they got going, and the results are coming out of it nicely, aren't they?
I would like to see them stay at this concept next season. I would do, definitely.
Yeah, I think there's a great balance in there, and just shows, doesn't it, you can get results against any team in the league. They've not been out of it in any of them, so good set of results tonight.
One of the Ewan team is in my idea too. Ooh, 2 of them.
Oh, hopefully Salt's in there. Maybe Salt and Nigel Pepper.
Not Vieira and Savio.
I don't think Saviola have been there.
I don't either. So yeah, the results very, very much a mixed bag. We've had a couple of draws, 3 draws even. We've got 2 away wins and 2 home wins. So
Oh, you wouldn't have gone up a place. Look, it's Wolves are back in 9th.
oh yeah, so the draw is enough to do that. And Allenwell now in 5th place. So they have taken over from. They beat Falwaraki, did they in the end?
Yeah, beat
Of course,
Paloaki
yeah,
1-0, didn't it? It was a close one, wasn't it? I mean, Trafford should win with the team they've got. I mean, I back Tools. I'm going to stick with them, even though they're a game in front. East Coast, yeah, real good result for them. They've only conceded 13 still, so only Phoenix and Trafford are doing better in terms of that. Great result for Phoenix away to Badgers. So Lunwell will be really pleased with the result. Fallaraki were unlucky not to get anything out of it, and then from 7th downwards, it's tight, isn't it? I mean, if I'd have won that last one, there'd have been barely any points between them all. But at the moment, there's 3 points from 7th to 10th, and then a little bit further back the Iron Curtain. But they're certainly not out of the top 10 race at the end of the season. And then down the bottom, imagine
let's take a look.
Madrid have picked up 4 points in the last 2 games, haven't they? So they're
Yeah, they're certainly. Well, 3 points away from safety is massive. I think you referred to it being a good result for East Coast. The draw with Racers.
Yeah, I probably did, but I just in terms of league position, I suppose with the
Yeah,
5 points from
comfortably
either
enough
team
back
out,
to
so
the
they're
next
pretty
team.
much guaranteed both from there. But yeah, I mean, it's it was good performance by Racers actually to come back into it and get 3 goals certainly. But yeah, I mean, I imagine Madrid, although they're putting the points together, they are only 3 points from Iron Curtain, but they've played the extra game, so 8 games to go. It's different, isn't it?
Do you think Mr. Savage has got like No, Mike Evans isn't there,
Is it,
is
it's
he?
not. It's not Akaboom, is it? Is he at Fortuna on the start? I haven't played as them for quite some time, but is Akaboom there as a starter?
Oh,
I'll.
maybe.
I've got my team all set up for next season. It's sort of a double concept in a way, but I won't reveal all yet. But it's. I think there's probably 10 players I've not used before, and there's quite a few players not seen the league either, so it should be an interesting one.
Yeah, things are looking pretty interesting for next season, aren't they? We will see, obviously, the end of Flamingos as it stands. The end of Flamingos will be just 9 matches away as Fifey will look to put his own stamp on the team in Division
You
2
don't, you don't
next
think he'll
season.
be keeping a lot of the squad?
Des Firasso will be a surefire stay. I mean, he was essential to their reserve squad for today's match. But yeah, Flamingos on 6 goals in 17 games, one of which came in the one match managed by Fifey. So some progress, some progress. Let's take a look at the fixtures for next time. This is a real split, isn't it? We've got 4 league games at this point, and it's all because of the cup replay, isn't it? At this point, so it's going to be very, very strange. We've got Ewan versus Wolves, 8th versus 9th, Falaraki versus Iron Curtain, Fortuna versus East Coast, and Racers versus Trafford. But on the same day, I think we have the cup replay. We do Badgers versus Allenwell. And the reason why there's not another match being played is, of course, that league game was played last week, wasn't it? The
Yeah, Hull's
individual
Madrid, Madrid, wasn't it?
gone far too far. Hull's drawing with Madrid. So yeah, it's promising though. The table's certainly hotting up. The whole league is hotting up at this point. I'm going to make sure I save it as it stands, just in case anything goes wrong.
How are we doing on the individual player stats nowadays? We haven't looked for a while in Division One, I don't think.
No, they were on the previous full league round of league fixtures, but yeah, so Elber top in the list for Hulls. For the goals, Yavin is a goal clear of Elber, another one of Sigalco, and one more of Bassett due to that. That's certainly coming closer, isn't it? And obviously that does not count any
Quite a gap,
big
isn't there,
cup
to
goals.
fifth?
Yeah, it's just those 4 starting to run away with it. But yeah, no duplicates there in the top 5 or so.
Craig Bellamy from Racers up there as well with 6.
Oh yeah, he's making a launch for it, isn't he? At this point, goals conceded, Pellizzoli top of the list. I did say I'm not a fan of Pellizzoli in the game. I've said it a few times this season, and I still stand by it. Having last penalty is good for them.
Sigalco could have gone top of that had he put his penalty away today.
Yeah, he has to still manage to get those penalties taken versus penalties scored. He should be scoring them all. Should be scoring them all. Into assists massively. Rui Costa on 9 at this point, 2 clear of anyone else. Most of all, he must have got his first 7 in 7 and then stopped.
Bonk's doing all right, isn't he, for 3 of the teams? A couple of Ronaldinhos. We've got Lenny in there. He's up to 4 now.
Yeah, some real creative players going on. Take a look at yellow cards. Keane and Smirty with 7, and on red cards, oh, that's yellow again. The red card front, Roy Keane. So he's doing very well. Top of the list on both areas. Man of the match, Israel has 5 of those. And into the last bits here. The passing, Hierro winning, and of course we do like to check the tackles per game. Rustico topping the list from Vieira and Jurgen Kohler.
Yeah, good old Jurgen up there.
There is no team of the week. And as it's late, I am not going to keep clicking through till the next round of games. At some point, I will get onto that and make sure it's done. It should be, though, Division 2 in midweek. Leaving us with next weekend. It's undecided as to how it's going to go, but we will definitely see some Division 1 fixtures next weekend. Whether we see Division 2 or not remains to be seen. Quinton, as ever, thank you very much for all your contributions.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks for the chat, everyone.
Yeah, the chat is certainly one of the absolute highlights of doing the show. Obviously,
Kept me awake.
money kept me awake indeed, just about. Yeah, it's always good to see the involvement and the community feel that the league is bringing. Good night, Mr. Savage. It was great to have you on right from the start. Steve, great to have you on.
Night all.
Even though you weren't on the chat, you were still watching throughout. And yeah, we appreciate anyone else who's been there through this show. Thank you, and a good night to all.
Night all.
That took a while to end the stream.